orange, juice, aerobics. Keeping the aerobics show going. We're almost to episode 50. You know, why give Rogan the pride of saying he's the only one that can keep a podcast going? This isn't that difficult. I could talk about foot speed all day, every day, forever. And in fact, that's what we're going to do again right now. So here we are today. I think this is episode 49 or 50. I'm working on my foot speed still. I'm trying to become a better basketball player. I'm trying to jump higher. Hey, you guys. We're on the corner of Howard and Jefferson right now in Brooklyn, New York City. And I've been playing basketball again lately. But my jumper's broken. But if I fix my jumper and I continue to do these foot speed exercises every Sunday, I could really become a force at the park. So I'm still trying to improve as a basketball player, and then I'm going to run the marathon in November. Otherwise, let's do the drill. And then this week, I actually feel a lot faster today. I think playing the game and just playing basketball again, hey, what's up, man, has helped. Where just playing basketball is better than just running all the time. But it's good to run too. Like, so this week I ran 5 miles instead of my usual 10. And now I feel like fresher, but I feel like quicker, I think, from actually playing basketball. I played on like Monday and Wednesday, I think. I think it's almost better to play for 2 or 3 hours than to do like an hour sprint workout, obviously. But to do both is ideal. Some people, they play the game all the time, but they don't work out or do sprints, and you can only go so far that way. And then vice versa, some people are in really good shape, or they're athletic, or they do tons of workouts and sprints, but they don't play the game enough. So finding that happy medium to becoming a park legend in Brooklyn, to becoming one of the greatest street ball players New York City has perhaps ever seen, is, you know, it's not easy, but it's something that we work to attain. And it's funny, because my game is the opposite of the professor. So I set up the camera, and like all week, the last few times, people have been like, what's this kid going to do? He's filming the game? He's putting his camera out here? Who is this kid? And it's funny, because then I start playing at the park, and I pass the ball. I'm playing team ball right off the bat. And a lot of times, my strategy even will be to play team ball and keep the game close, and then try to win it myself at the end. Regardless, that's park ball. Regardless, my whole game is the opposite of the professor. So I feel like there's a lane for that. I feel like people can benefit from my basketball highlights. Because it's not about isolation. Like, I'm working on my quickness, I'm trying to become a better ISO player, but my whole game is based around like teamwork and like team chemistry and clutch shooting and defense and rebounding. And like those highlights, like, we don't talk about that enough on ESPN. So I think there's definitely a lane though up at the Brooklyn Bridge Park for a future park legend who, you know, does sprint workouts 2-3 times a week out here in Brooklyn. But we'll see. I don't know if I can attain that though. You know, it's not for everybody, unfortunately. But as you can see, we're getting quicker with the one leg hops. I'm getting quick. So I don't know, one day at a time. Woo! And last week I didn't do these, but I played basketball. But I think this is episode 49, 48. So I mean, I've been doing these leg workouts for almost a whole year now. And then before that, I started doing jumps probably 6 months before that. So I've been doing jumps and vertical leap exercises for like 18 months. But improving your jump is one of the hardest things in the world. Like, improving your jump is so difficult physically. It's crazy. I talk too much. But at the same time, it's true. Like, vertical leap training and speed training too has to be some of the hardest work you can do physically, just in general. Like, the sprints hurt. Like, I've improved my speed, maybe not dramatically, but I've improved my speed. And improving your speed is not easy. It is physically hard and like painful. Like, the sprint exercises are crazy. The track will really test you as a person. Like, the track will really test how tough you are. Like, maybe not in terms of like physical pain, but mental hardship. Like, the track. I love the track. I like sprinting. It's good. That's how I look at it though. It's like a test. Like, every time I run, it's like a test. And that's kind of how I try to approach running though. And then with the purpose of becoming a better basketball player before I become 40 years old and can't play with the kids at the park anymore. Otherwise, just 3 sets of jumps, 3 sets of knee taps. I might do side to side too. And this shit, it's so stupid. Like, so many people feel stupid doing this. And yet these are the drills that you have to do to get quicker. Foot speed is important. And it's not just 50-yard speed. It's not just 100-yard speed. It's how quick are you taking one step? How quick are you taking 2 steps? And these are the drills that a lot of kids don't do enough. Or they think it's just genetic, and sometimes it is. Actually, funny topic. I was just watching some sprinters on YouTube, and they were talking about training. And then someone said something in the video, or there was some sort of innuendo like, sprinting is frustrating though, because no matter how hard you train or how fast you are, there's always like some 16 or 17-year-old kid like Derek Rose out there who's running a 10-second 100 meter at 16 years old, because sometimes kids are just really fast. So like, the other frustrating thing about running, and especially speed and sprint training, is that sometimes there'll be a kid like Matt Bowling from Georgia, or I mean, it happens every once in a while where there's just a prodigy who is just faster than like Olympians at like 16 years old, and it's just genetic too. So sometimes it is genetic though, especially when you talk about young people who are like Olympic athlete fast, like Derek Rose. Like, Derek Rose had probably the potential to run in the Olympics if he wanted to at a young age, and then was probably just groomed to play basketball. But some people are just born fast. That is true though. But there's also a lot of work to it. You know, and then if you want to be great though, you still have to train. I mean, just being born fast isn't everything though. But it is weird. Running is weird though, because you can be great, but once you hit 25, 26, a freaky 16-year-old might beat you no matter what you do. Like, but that's life. You know, some people are just really talented sometimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I far prefer doing this to doing squats. I don't like putting weight on my back. I've said that before, but I far prefer doing this to like doing squats and like heavy like back straining exercises. A lot of people do deadlifts and stuff. I don't like doing deadlifts. This stuff to me is way better than that, in terms of like staying injury free too. Now, I've never had a serious injury, knock on wood, although my ankles have been hurting lately. So I could end up going out like Kobe out in the park though. But I'm planning on quitting basketball when I turn 40 or 41, 42, 43. There'll be an age where I stop playing with the kids at the park. As it is, I'm 35 and they're 20 usually. It's already getting awkward. But, you know, it's exciting though. Doing things. Because these workouts are so easy. It's 20 minutes on Sunday. I'm just gonna keep doing it. Especially now that I'm hooping again. And I'm gonna be filming my games. So now people can see why I do this shit. So on the gram, you'll see my highlights. And eventually I'll put a couple full games on YouTube too. Because I almost had one the other day, but the camera fell. There was a game the other day where I almost put the whole game on YouTube, but I didn't because the camera messed up. But the type of games I want to put on YouTube too is like my basketball stuff aren't like Professor. I don't want to put just a bunch of highlights. Like the other day I had 0 points, like 9 assists, and the game-winning shot. So I had 2 points. I had 2 points, 9 assists, and the game-winning shot. That's the type of game I want to put on YouTube. Those are the highlights I want to show. I think I went like 0 for 4, and then I hit the game-winning shot. And like that 0 for 4 didn't matter at all because I hit the game-winning shot, and we won. And like those are the highlights I want to put on YouTube, like the team-oriented, team chemistry highlights, not Professor just playing hero ball. Although I wish I could dunk. And that was how this started too. I was like, I wonder if I did this every day or I worked my legs out really hard if I could dunk. And I don't know the answer to that still, but I think it is possible. I think a 5'11", I mean, I've seen 5'11" people dunk before. I'm 5'11", 180. I'm a little too heavy. I think I'm a little bit overweight. So that hurts my jumping too though. 1, 2, 3. But you're not supposed to be super skinny. You're supposed to be 5-6 pounds overweight. You're not supposed to go to bed hungry. So I don't like going to bed hungry. So I don't really worry about my diet that much. I just try to stay away from like chocolate and butter. I just try to avoid some foods, but I don't really worry about what I'm eating because you need that energy to exercise. If I didn't eat donuts every once in a while, I wouldn't have the energy to run. So, I mean, you can take that for what it is. I don't worry about diet so much though. I think that's 10. I think that's 9 actually. 10. Whew. All right, last set. And then we'll be done for today. But it's such a little exercise, and it really does make a difference though. Like to do this and run is key. Because just running, it becomes like robotic. Like I've been working on my running form lately because I'm not really getting much faster. I've been running since 2016. I started in 2016 running 1 mile a week. And then now I do like 10 to 15 miles a week. I started doing just 1 mile on Wednesdays. But I'm not really getting much faster. I really focused on getting faster at the beginning, and sometimes I'll go fast. I'll run like a 5:40, 5:50 sometimes. But for the most part, I run about 6:15, 6:20 in the mile. 5:40 when I'm like really in shape, 5:45. But it's almost more about form for me now. Where like, I don't even focus on my speed as much. I try to just run with really good form and hope that the speed will naturally get better as I keep running more. So now I don't worry so much about my speed. I've been trying to just run with good form and build the muscles properly, and then hope that consistency will lead to better times and more miles. But I haven't really gotten that much faster though. But I haven't really gone for the mile either. I focus more on like 400s this year. But even so, my best 400 this year was 1:08, 68 seconds, which is okay, but it's not fast. So we're still trying to get some speed, but I'm close. Like 1:05 in the 400 is almost fast. So we're getting there though. And I ran a 12,600 meter. I want to get that down to 11.6. Last set. And these are all good for like the waist. A lot of little muscles in your legs. And some people don't work out these muscles at all. You know, you spend a lot of time sitting in a chair. You gotta do this stuff. Like, I'm guilty of it too. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that is Orange Juice Aerobics for today. And hopefully, I'll get some better highlights on the basketball court. I haven't really broken anyone off in the ISO yet. And then not only that, I can hit them with the elbow pass. We're working on some things.